Hello everybody and welcome back. It is good to talk to all of you again on this Sunday evening. And a lot of you are probably looking at this video and going, hey, I remember this game. It's called NavyField or something, right? And the answer is yes, this is NavyField 1, not 2. 2 is a terrible game in my opinion, but 1 I still feel like has a lot of merits. It is still a very, very good game in my opinion. Now, there's a little bit too many things to try to explain all in one video, so bear with me when some things maybe aren't super clear as to exactly what's going on. I'm playing the German BB4, which is the level 91 German battleship, the H-39. I've got her loaded out with AA guns and, well, you know, and my actual main battery guns. Everything in terms of guns, in terms of shooting, aiming, all that kind of stuff. All done manually. There's no, like, you know, you get none of the mouse aim stuff. You've got to actually manually set your angles and, you know, predict where ships are going to move, etc., etc., etc. The other thing, of course, I guess that I should point out about the game before you all get super confused as to what's going on, there's no concealment mechanics or anything like that in this game. What you have is basically fog of war, right? So you'll notice that there's enemy aircraft over here, and these enemy aircraft are providing vision of this area of ships to the enemy. So with my pretty good German anti-aircraft, I am shooting down these aircraft and basically trying to deny the enemy team vision. And what that denial vision allows your team to do is potentially to make a move, shoot from an area where the enemy can't see, etc., etc., etc. So as you can tell, there's the enemy battleship that's coming in there. That one is in the fog of war, but right at the edge, so he does appear as a dark outline. But if he goes a little bit further into that fog of war, he will actually become invisible. We lose our carrier because he wandered out too far. So rip on that one. Enemy aircraft coming in. We don't have air cover, so I go and try to be a support battleship. But for having not played this game in like 5 years, okay, when I say 5 years, I mean like I've touched this game like once or twice for a few battles here and there, but nothing like, you know, actually practice. So I'm really rusty, and I get a little overwhelmed when I play the ship. Like I can't keep up with both, you know, keeping track of everything around me, making sure that my AA is working, making sure that I'm targeting enemy ships with my main guns, and of course making sure that my scout plane is doing its job. In this case, at the beginning, I totally screw it up. I had my scout plane circling over my head for like the longest period of time, doing, you know, well, nothing except circling over my head. Finally do send him out over there, and as you can see with my scout plane there, I am able to get vision. Thing about scout planes as well, you have to control them. Not that you don't just like, you know, launch them and then send them out. You actually have to control their altitude, make sure that they're in a place where they're not too vulnerable to enemy anti-aircraft. Maybe avoid enemy fighters if you can. That's a little bit of a hard thing to do though, but at least something you have to try. I'm getting some pretty good shots here on this enemy. Pretty sure that is a Russian battleship there. I think it is. Again, there's a lot of new things in the last 5 years in the game, at least ship-wise, so I can't recognize every single thing. It's been a while since I've played this game on, let's say, for any good period of time. Anyhow, okay, so managed to sink that enemy battleship. I'm trying to get myself turned around here. Again, also trying to use my AA guns to try to knock down these planes that are coming. As you can tell, not an easy thing. You actually have to lead ahead of the shadow that you see on the water over there. The plane is like flying above, there's a shadow there. You're really trying to use that shadow to lead the shot, and you're trying to get the angles right. It's not an easy thing to do. Although, if you happen to have played the game on a more consistent basis, then you're going to become a lot better with it. Enemy fighters come in, I get my guns to the right angle, my first shot nails down 2 of the planes, but take a look at the CV. Immediately, you know, takes evasive maneuvers by dropping altitude, cutting into areas where my AA guns are not very well, you know, I guess, concentrated. And then, of course, I derp ahead, and I just can't remember what angle to set my guns at, so the CV sort of laughs at me and flies circles around my ship. Yeah, and of course, while he's doing that, of course, those fighters are providing the enemy team with vision. So I'm doing the best I can, but it's been some time since I've done this. Once again, loading up my own scout planes. Again, trying to get some vision. So if you take a look, there we go, shot down a few more planes. Yay, okay. I'm doing something. I'm doing some work here, okay? Anyways, if you take a look at the enemy team to the north, the southern team, they kind of got pushed away by a submarine. who's done some damage. Submarines are just... I'm still not a huge fan of that decision by NavyField. Submarines, I don't think, were the world's best decision. But regardless, they put them in. They're part of the game. And the submarine south has done some work. So I'm trying to go and maybe support north. All the while... Ow! Took a salvo there. That Montana put a salvo into me. That actually hurt. And you might be wondering, like, how come it looks like your HP bar is still green? Well... yeah, my actual HP is actually where that blue arrow is right now, so my HP is actually a lot lower. And the reason why my HP doesn't immediately become that point is because this game actually has this concept of like damage absorption. So by this kind of level that I'm at right now, which is probably level like 90 something out of 120, 120, oh actually no, 125 now is the max level. But anyways, like I have crew that are like I think in the level 90s, so I have about 90% damage absorption. So when I take any hit, 10% of it is taken immediately, and the remaining amount of HP is drained over time. Sort of like a, you know, there's damage over time versus repair over time. So what you'll see is that the blue arrow right now is actually increasing again. So that is me healing up, and you'll notice that the green bar is actually dropping. That's the damage that I'm burning off. Now, all this time you'll see that I'm trailing that black smoke, which indicates that I am burning off some damage. Okay, so again, those two enemy battleships to the north over there, can't see them, right? They've re-entered that fog of war. So I'm trying to get a plane over there to maybe get myself some vision. And all around this time, what I should have been doing is really paying attention to see if there's any kind of enemy aircraft around me, potentially providing vision to the enemy in the dark. And I do see a scout plane. I get my AA off, manage to knock that plane down. So at least right here, nothing is around me. So I am reasonably safe. If another aircraft comes towards me and gets me spotted, then I'm going to be in trouble. So what I'm trying to do right now is get my scout plane back over there to the enemy battleships so I can see them, so I can maybe sneak up on them and get a shot off. But I noticed, I think there was a little bit of AA fire coming from the battleship to my south there. That means there was a scout plane there. I didn't pick that up. Get spotted. That battleship to the north absolutely demolishes me. I do manage to land a decent return salvo on him, and that's the end of my game. I mean, I did 64,000 damage, which is not that great. It's okay. It's an okay number, I guess. I do shoot down a couple of aircraft, so I am kind of happy with that, especially, you know, this is kind of like my first or second game back after like 5-year hiatus. Okay, maybe it's not 5 years. I did play this like once or twice, I think, in the last 2 years. Anyways, so the battleship to the south that was with me there was that scout plane, that ruddy scout plane. Anyways, that battleship to the south there, he manages to land a very, very good salvo, kills off the last remaining enemy battleship. So all the enemy team has now are these poor carriers, and, well, when battleships enter shooting range for those carriers, they are not going to have a nice day. Carrier on carrier play, that's another thing I should show you guys one day. Carrier on carrier play is actually quite intense. Mistakes are punished very, very harshly, and you really got to know what you're doing. Very, very micro intensive. Maybe one of the flaws of the game as well, they did make carriers to be pretty hard to play. There we go, CV managed to get off a couple of dive bombing strikes onto that enemy carrier, but those fighters just absolutely shred his bombers to pieces. Battleship manages to get off another salvo, misses by, you know, a little bit of a gap in the middle there between his forward guns and his rear guns, gets off another salvo, and dead enemy carrier. You're probably looking at this and going, wow, the reload times are very, very short. Yeah, I mean, there's some things about this game that are not very realistic. I mean, I have to be honest about that. But the one thing that I really do like about NavyField, and kind of the reason maybe I keep going back to the game, is that it's a game of skill versus skill, right? Good A player, you're going to be a very, very annoying thing for a carrier. Good carrier player, you're going to be very annoying for, you know, other, you know, AA players and battleships and things like that. You know, overall, just a game that challenges you skill-wise, and something that I do enjoy playing a lot. And of course, over time, over the years, they have buffed up experience gain by like a lot, so you are getting more experience, and the grind has become significantly easier. Other things, I guess, of note, you know, NavyField's real failing, I think, before in the past used to be just really bad management. They had a very good game, but I think management really screwed it up, although now they are trying to get better at it. Anyways, I mean, that's just a peek at what I'm kind of doing on my off time from World of Warships. I'm probably going to get back to World of Warships within the next few days, but, you know, hey, guys, I need a break from it. I'm enjoying the break, and I'm playing some other stuff, so hope you don't mind. But if you're waiting for World of Warships content, don't worry, it's coming back soon. Anyways, folks, take care, have yourselves a good one, and I'll talk to all of you again really, really soon.